Hello there folks, and welcome to video number 68. This one is on factorising and solving harder quadratics where a is not equal to 1. Did a video for the harder stuff on foundation where a is equal to 1, factorising and solving quadratics. But this is even harder. This is just for higher, not for foundation at all. Keywords here I've gone through in that video, but I'll tell you very quickly what they mean again. So factor, factorise, solve, constant, coefficient, sum and product. A factor is a number that fits in. Factorise is to put brackets in. Solve is to work out what the value of the letter is. Constant is the number bit of the expression. Coefficient is the number that is in front of. Sum is the result of adding, and product is the result of multiplying. I'm not going to read through this whole method, but I've gone red and black, so you can see, so black, then red, black, then red, black, then red, black. Right, that gets you everything that you need to do in order. But I'm going to speak through that when I do the questions, all right, or a rough guide of that throughout the questions. So, first question, fully factorise. That means put into brackets, double brackets, in fact. Got to multiply the first number, i.e. the coefficient of the x squared, by the last number, which is called the constant. So that is 3 times by 20, which is 60. And if I work out the factors of 60, 1 and 60, I'm looking for a pair that add to make 32. So 2 and 30, actually found it straight away there. 2 plus 30 makes a positive 32. All right, so I'm happy with that. We can use that because that would make 32. The sum of those two is 32. The product is 60. All right, now we're going to rewrite the expression, but we're going to rewrite it with this as being a 2x, so plus 2x, and this 30 as being a plus 30x, and then plus that 20. So we've rewritten the expression. What we've done there, you know, when you multiply out double brackets, you are able to collect together 2x terms. All right, well, we've just undone that here. That's what we're doing. We're undoing the process of multiplying double brackets. So I'm going to section these bits off. I'm going to factorise them independently from one another. So I'm looking at the left side now. 3 and 2, highest common factor is 1, we don't write ones. X squared and x, we can take an x out. Then we're going to put a 3x in the bracket, and then we're going to put a plus 2, because that would multiply out to make this expression. And then this one, and if you're not sure what I'm doing there, watch the Factorising grade 4 question videos, even, not questions. Watch the questions, me doing the questions in the videos. Take the symbol out here of a plus, which is always what you do. If it's negative, you take negative out, but this is a plus. Then we've got 30 and 20. The highest common factor there is 10. And then the bit inside the bracket is 3x plus 2, which is good because I know my brackets match. They should match. And that means that that is one of our brackets of our factorised expression. So if I was just to kind of go down here, I don't know why I did it like that, but this is an identity 2, 3x plus 2 multiplied by, and then the other bracket is found by putting the bits that are on the outside or in front of the brackets together in another bracket, so x plus 10. That's our factorised expression, and that's it. That is done. Okay, so it's a little bit more than what you would normally have to do. All right, in the factorising easier ones, grade 5 stuff, I kind of showed you a bit of a cheaty way. This is the way we really should always be doing it, but we don't have to. So I taught you an easier way because I could. Right, now number 2. Factorise and solve this. So this time we are solving. We're going to go on a step and we're going to solve. Basically going to start off the same way. So 2 times by 12 is 24. Find the factors of 24 that add to make minus 5. So I've got 1 and 24. Nope, not those. I've got 2 and 12. Nope, not those. I've got 3 and 8. Yes, it could be those. So I've got to make minus 5. And I've got to multiply to make a minus 24, technically. So one of them is going to be negative. And it has to be the 8 that's negative and the 3 that's positive. Now this is the bit that a lot of people could make mistakes on. I've done that many, many times. If I've been doing it too quickly, rushing through it, not really thought about it, you could easily make the other one positive and the other one negative. Because we're going to make a minus 5x, all right? So I'm going to rewrite it, 2x squared. I'm going to put the minus 8x on this side and the plus 3x on this side, then minus 12. And then I'm going to section those bits off. I'm ignoring the equals 0 for the minute. Then I'm going to factorise this bit, so 2 and x can come out, and then x goes in, and then minus 4, and then this one is going to be a plus 3 that comes out, and then x minus 4, and happy days, we've got the same bracket, so we're pretty confident there. Now, when we're solving, and and this is the other bracket, we've got 2x plus 3 and x minus 4. When we're solving, we have to be equal to 0. Each bracket independently is equal to 0. So if I make this bracket equal to 0, that's easy. If I make this bracket equal to 0, it's a little bit more complicated. Basically, it's a two-step equation. So I've got 2x plus 3 equals 0. Take away the 3 from both sides, minus 3. 2x equals minus 3, so x would equal minus 3 over 2. So x equals minus 3 over 2, or minus 1.5. And x equals 4, because 4 minus 4 makes nothing. All right, so that one's easy to get, just like in your easy ones. All right, and I'm going to get rid of all that work in, not because I have to, but I think because it kind of clutters everything up and it might make it more complicated to see what's going on in the next one. So I'll just leave the answer in the answer space there. Okay. In B, it's pretty much exactly the same thing. However, we have to remember that to solve a quadratic using this method, we have to make it equal to 0, and this one isn't equal to 0. So let's take away the 6 and then make it equal to 0. So I've got 5x squared minus 13x minus 6 equals 0. 5 multiplied by 6 is 30. Find the factors of 30, 1 and 30, and obviously we're going to have a negative 30 there. So 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 4 and no, 5 and 6, yes. Right, what pair of those factors makes a minus 13? Well, you've got 2 and 15, which got a difference of 13, and you've got 3 and 10, which if you added together would get 13, or both took away would get minus 13. Both were negative, would be minus 13. But it has to be the 2 and the 15, right? Because one has to be negative, and that's the 15 that needs to be negative, because we want to make a minus 13. All right, I hope that makes sense. It's very easy to make a mistake here. A lot of people, or not a lot of people, but some people might use the 3 and the 10, and that would be the wrong ones to use, because that wouldn't make the minus 30 at the end there. All right, now let's write the expression again. So 5x squared, I'm going to put the minus 15x there, and then the plus 2x there, and then the minus 6. Section it off, and then I've got the 5 which I can take out, and the x that I can take out as well. Then I've got the x which I put in, and minus 3, and then I do the same thing on this one. I've got plus 2, and then I've got the x minus 3, and then I've found one of my brackets, and I found my other bracket there as well. So that's 5x plus 2 is one bracket, and x minus 3 is the other. That equals 0. So that's the expression, the identity to the original expression, and I can just solve now. So x will equal minus 2 over 5, and then I can make this bracket equal to 0 and just put 3 there. Easy peasy. All right. Wow. It's a lot to do, isn't it? It seems like a lot to do. Feels like I've done a lot already. But I'm going to do the third question now. Now I'll move myself over here so you can see it. Basically, this one's a little bit of a contextual one. We have to find the area of a triangular field. Now this is a bit of a beast. It's a bit of a nasty one, really, because you need to figure out what you need to do to work out the area of a triangle, and you also need to think about Pythagoras here. All right, and we're not just doing normal Pythagoras, we're doing Pythagoras with algebraic expressions. But it's all just maths we've learned so far, apart from the Pythagoras bit. So there will be a Pythagoras video. Please do watch that when I make one. But at the moment, you kind of have to go with this, right? Just try and follow what I'm doing, unless you know about Pythagoras already. So right angled triangle here, right? So half the base times the height is ultimately what we need to do to work out the area of a triangle. But I need to work out this value of x. And the only way I can do that, because I've got just expressions for each of these things, is to use Pythagoras and know that I can half this 2x plus 10 to give me this measurement here. All right, so therefore I've got the two short sides squared equals the long side squared. So I can write an expression here. And this is going to turn into a quadratic expression, which I'm then going to factorize and solve, I believe. Let's see what happens. So that's going to be 2x plus 10 halved. It's going to be x plus 5. All right, so I've got x plus 5 squared, which is my a squared. Then I've got plus my b squared, which is x squared. Just put it in brackets for the sake of it. All right, so there's my a, there's my b. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. So that's going to be x plus 10 squared. There you go. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. There's Pythagoras in action. All right. Now let's work out what these terms are. What do we get when we do this? So we've got x times x is x squared. Then we've got plus 5x plus 5x is plus 10x. And then plus 25. And again, that's just multiplying double brackets. Watch the video if you're not sure. And then plus that x squared, that's just an x squared, equals x squared plus 20x plus 100. Okay, now I've done that right, haven't I? Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to collect everything together and make it all equal 0. Because remember, a quadratic has to be equal to 0 for us to be able to factorize and then solve it. So let's see what we've got here. We've got 2x's there. So you've got 2x squareds there. Right, let's write that out first of all. So 2x squared plus 10x plus 25, collecting those bits together, equals x squared plus 20x plus 100. And then what we do is we're going to take away the x squared from this side. So we've got x squared, and then we're going to take away the positive 20 from this side. So that's going to be minus 10x. So minus 20x has gone from that side, and minus 20x has gone from this side, which takes us to minus 10x. And then we've got 25 over here, and we're going to take away 100, and that's going to give me minus 75. And that equals 0. Okay. So just kind of taking everything that away that I can from this side, and now I've got this nice quadratic, or nice-ish looking quadratic here. Find the factors of 75 that will make 10. So let's find the factors of 75 up here. Right, 75 are 1 and 75. 2 doesn't fit in. 3 does fit in. It goes in 25 times. And 4 doesn't go in. 5 does go in. And how many times does 5 go in? It goes 16. Why can't I do that? That is going to be 60, and that's 15 times, isn't it? That took ages, and that's the one we want, isn't it? Because we've got a difference of 10 there. So we're going to take away 15, all right, to make the minus 10, and that's it. That works, doesn't it? Right? So this is not one of the harder ones because we've got the coefficient of the x squared actually is already 1. All right, so we can pop those in our double bracket straight away. We've got x plus 5 and x minus 15. And then we can see that that equals 0. So x is equal to either minus 5 or to positive 15. Now we can only choose one because it's got to make sense here. All right, and we've got to find the area of this triangular field. So half the base was x plus 5. If we used minus 5 plus 5 is nothing. That wouldn't make any sense. All right, so it has to be 15. All right, so must be that, because of the context of the question, right? Theoretically, it could be minus 5, but in reality, no, it can't, right? So we substitute that in. So that's going to be 30 plus 10 is 40, half that's 20, and then 20 multiplied by 15 is 300. So 300, and then the area would be in meters squared. There's our answer to the area. And that calculation I did out loud and didn't write anything down for. I probably should have. So let me show you that. 2 times by 15 plus 10, that's 30 plus 10, which is 40. Then I halved that, so I half the base. I got 20, and then I multiplied by the height. So 20 multiplied by the height, which is x, and we decided x was 15. There, just did 2 times 15, which is 30. And then put a 0 on the end, so there's my 300. All right, and that is the area of the triangular field, and that is a very, very tricky question. All right, where we form and we solve our quadratic expression and then equation. Lovely stuff, beautiful stuff. Actually shows you a little bit what the point of it all is. All right, because a lot of people go, well, why am I doing this? Well, this is sort of why we're doing this. We can work stuff out like this. It's lovely. It's beautiful maths. Anyway, please like, subscribe. Share the channel with as many people as you possibly can. I've joined a little group of teachers who are promoting stuff on YouTube at the moment. Conspiracy Cats, AB Science, Simon Dan. So we're all kind of getting together and trying to educate people whilst they're not able to go to school, which looks like it might be for a little while. So don't give up on stuff. Keep practicing. Keep trying hard. Keep helping each other out, sharing everything, I think we can kind of try and make society just a beautiful place by doing all of this. So yeah, enjoy, take care, and if you watch another one, I'll see you in a bit.